Now, the third type of chemical reaction is simple displacement reaction. When more reactive element displaces less reactive element from a compound and takes its place is known as displacement reaction, simple displacement reaction. Now for example, you see here AB plus C gives AC plus B. Now in this we say that AB is a compound and this is an element. So this element is displacing another element, that is B, and taking its place is known as displacement reaction. This C is an element and this is a compound. So this element is displacing another element from the compound and taking its place is known as displacement reaction. So always here C is displacing B and AC is formed. So A is positive and C is negative, here positive and negative element. So more reactive element, more reactive will displace less reactive. So more reactive element displaces less reactive. That is very important, which we have to understand. So here we have to also keep in mind activity series. Now reactivity series of metal, so potassium to silver. So calcium can displace zinc or magnesium can displace zinc, but zinc cannot displace magnesium or any other element we see. Here fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, this is halogen series non-metallic. Fluorine can displace all of them, but iodine cannot displace anyone. Now let us take the example of more reactive, say magnesium, when reacts with say zinc chloride. So magnesium can displace zinc, but zinc cannot displace magnesium. So we are getting here magnesium chloride plus zinc. So what have we understood is, in this case magnesium being more reactive displaces zinc, and this is taking zinc, magnesium is taking the place of zinc and forming magnesium chloride. So more reactive displaces less reactive. And one more important thing, metal displaces metal cannot displace non-metal. Now another example of, let us take potassium iodide when reacts with chlorine, diatomic chlorine. All these are diatomic. So chlorine being more reactive than iodine, chlorine can displace iodine here like this, in this manner also here. So chlorine displaces iodine and we get KCl plus I2, and now balance the reaction. So non-metal displaces non-metal and metal displaces metal. So this is what we have to keep in mind, and activity series also. Now our first topic, subtopic is action of water on metals. So here reactivity decreases, accordingly they will react. So potassium, sodium and calcium, the reaction is violent and they react with cold water. So here first rule is, these three metals react with cold water. So potassium when reacts with, we say, cold water, means normal water, we get potassium hydroxide and hydrogen. Very violent reaction we will see. What happens, a tiny piece of potassium when put in the trough containing cold water or normal water, we see that potassium moves on the surface of the water, as it is a light metal and it is very reactive metal. So it moves on the surface of the water and will violently react with water, liberating hydrogen gas. Sometimes hydrogen burns with it will burn with pale blue flame, and potassium hydroxide solution is formed, and potassium starts burning with lilac flame. Next reaction is, now balance the reaction. Next reaction is sodium when reacts with water, we get sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gases liberating. Sodium similarly burns with golden yellow flame, golden yellow, color of the flame is golden yellow, reacts with cold water and the reaction is violent reaction. Calcium reacts with water to form calcium hydroxide and hydrogen. Calcium reacts with brick red flame. It will burn, calcium will burn with brick red flame, and we will get here calcium hydroxide. All of them are forming hydroxides over here. And now balance the reaction. Hydrogen gas liberates, and this calcium burns with brick red flame. So first three metals are highly reactive and the reaction is violent reaction. Now next, magnesium, when we are saying, see here, magnesium reacts with both magnesium and aluminium. Both of them, magnesium and aluminium, both of them reacts with boiling water and steam. So magnesium, when it reacts with boiling water, it will give magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is liberated. And when magnesium reacts with steam, see, the reactivity is decreasing, so it will not react with cold water. Magnesium oxide and hydrogen is formed. So if we look at this, magnesium and aluminium, both of them will show this type of reaction like magnesium. Now rule number C is here, this zinc, lead, zinc and iron. These two, zinc and iron, when they react, they will react with steam. They will not react with cold water because they are less reactive. Reacts with steam to form metal oxide and hydrogen gas is liberated. And similarly, Fe reacts with water, means in the form of steam. This is steam. We get here reversible reaction, triferric tetraoxide we are getting. Triferric tetraoxide we will get as a residue, and this is a reversible reaction. So a brown color triferric tetraoxide is formed. Now the last is the lead and metal below hydrogen do not displace hydrogen because they are least reactive. Lead and metals below hydrogen do not react with water or steam because they are least reactive. So here we have to remember these four rules. Rule number 1 is potassium, sodium and calcium, they react with cold water to show violent reaction and they form metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Then magnesium and aluminium, both of them, they react similarly with boiling water and steam and they give metal hydroxide and oxide and along with hydrogen. Zinc and iron, they react with steam to form metal oxide and hydrogen. And lead and metals below hydrogen, they do not react with water or steam because they are less reactive. Here the observation of hydrogen is when a burning splinter is brought near hydrogen gas, it extinguishes with a pop sound and itself starts burning with a pale blue flame. Now next topic is action of dilute acid on metals. Now action of dilute acid on metals. So again in this case, first three metals are highly reactive, they will show violent reaction. First three. So first potassium, sodium and calcium. Potassium suppose reacts with HCl or H2SO4, we get salt plus hydrogen. So the rule is metal plus dilute acid, salt plus hydrogen. Here hydrochloric acid and hydrogen gas is liberated. Similarly, suppose if we take another acid, say sulfuric acid, dilute acid, so all are dilute acid we are taking here, sodium sulfate and hydrogen gas is liberated. So metal plus acid, salt plus hydrogen. Calcium also reacts similarly with both the acid HCl and H2SO4 and shows this type of reaction. Now next rule is both of them, these three will show, calcium also, these three will show violent reaction. Even calcium when reacts with say sulfuric acid or HCl gives corresponding salt plus hydrogen. These three metals shows violent reaction. Now next is when magnesium, aluminum and zinc they react, magnesium, aluminum or zinc, they will also react similarly. They will also form salt plus hydrogen, corresponding salt and hydrogen. Same type of reaction all of them are showing. So here just balance the reaction. So these three also shows same type of reaction, but the reaction is vigorous reaction when they react with metal. Suppose say zinc plus sulfuric acid, we get corresponding salt plus hydrogen gas. Hydrogen is liberated. Iron reacts slowly and quietly. Fe reacts slowly and quietly with acid. We are getting here ferrous chloride. Now this we'll never get here ferric chloride. See, if we want to prepare ferric chloride, we studied by synthesis reaction we can prepare ferric chloride. But if we want to prepare ferrous chloride, we use displacement reaction because HCl is not very strong oxidizing agent. So we will be getting here ferrous chloride. So the reaction Fe reacts slowly and quietly. So Fe, iron reacts slowly and quietly. And if we talk about lead will not react with cold and dilute acid. It will react with hot and concentrated acid. Fe plus HCl, it is hot and concentrated. All these are cold and dilute. This is hot and concentrated acid. And this is only because lead is very less reactive, and this is the reason why it reacts with hot and concentrated acid only. Now the metals which are below hydrogen, they do not react with dilute acid to displace hydrogen. So these metals do not displace hydrogen from acid. Here, why is lead above hydrogen? That is the point over here, because here lead is not displacing hydrogen from steam, but lead is at least liberating hydrogen from hot and concentrated acid. That is why lead is placed above hydrogen, right? Now the important point over here which we have to understand is all these metals, when they react with dilute hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid, you have seen they liberate hydrogen and corresponding salt is formed. But when the metal reacts with dilute HNO3, they will not liberate hydrogen. That is why dilute nitric acid is not taken. Here let us understand this. For example, over here, if say zinc when reacts with dilute nitric acid, or any metal when they react with dilute nitric acid, they will form here initial stage nitrate is formed, then hydrogen gas is liberated in the initial stage, but nitric acid being very strong oxidizing agent, it produces nascent oxygen, and that nascent oxygen oxidizes hydrogen to water. Along with that NO is formed, nitric oxide. So actually when these metals, when they react with dilute HNO3, then this type of reaction occurs, and that is why we'll see that it will not liberate hydrogen. And here the balancing is this. So this is what is happening. So what we have to remember over here is metal, when they react with dilute nitric acid being strong oxidizing agent, dilute HNO3 being strong oxidizing agent oxidizes hydrogen formed in the initial stage to water. So hydrogen is converted to water and it will not liberate hydrogen. So this is how metals react with nitric acid. Thank you, students.